To promote clean air, the Massachusetts Department of Transportation developed in the 1970s Rideshare, which is a program that promotes transportation options that not only result in cleaner air, but also faster and easier commutes. According to emission estimates from the inventory of U.S. greenhouse gas emissions and sinks, transportation is the top emitter of greenhouse gases, representing nearly 30% of all greenhouse gas emissions. Congestion during peak commuting hours plays an especially large role in this. The program, which has not been updated at all really in the decades since, specifically requires certain organizations, mainly businesses and educational institutions, to develop plans and set goals for reducing employee and student drive-alone commute trips by 25%. As a part of this process, the organizations would be able to survey current commute patterns, identify available commuting options, set goals for reducing drive-alone trips, offer options and incentives for reducing drive-alone trips, and review how commute patterns change as a result. The current rideshare regulations require these organizations to gather commuter information through a consensus survey, random survey, or direct count of commuters. This information is then coordinated through DEP and publicly released on their website. By getting employers involved and providing them with the tools they need to reduce drive-alone rates, we're able to make progress in reducing emissions. Amendment 104, this amendment expands the population of businesses and educational institutions to include those with fewer than 1,000 employees. By including them, we'll not only be able to better reduce air pollution, which was the initial goal of rideshare, but climate change and transportation concerns in Massachusetts across the board as well. The current law also requires employers themselves to submit annual reports. The reports and associated surveys can be burdensome, and employers will often find themselves spending more time developing the reports than they do working to improve the results. This happens far too often. This amendment allows employers to have transportation management associations they belong to conduct and submit those reports, which would reduce the administrative burden this policy currently places on employers and can be a barrier. Enhancements to technology and the congestion on our roadways point to this being the right time to modernize rideshare. Updating the regulation will provide a significant revenue-neutral opportunity for the state to gather data, track progress of Massachusetts employers to achieve the Commonwealth overall congestion and air quality goals. And it will provide us as policymakers with a better understanding of transportation needs in specific corridors and regions. I urge my colleagues to support this amendment. Thank you so much, Mr. President.